Hello 108 students, Mr. McHugh here with you, back on page 2 of section 8.2, and we're working with these exponents and converting them into radicals. And so example 3 here, we got a couple cases. You got to be careful real quick here. You look at example A, any number raised to the negative exponent is equivalent to its reciprocal raised to the 1 positive. So here's another example of that rule there. And so now you've got 16 raised to the 3/4. Convert that. Again, the denominator becomes the index, and you take the 4th root of 16, which is 2. 2 cubed is 8, and there's your answer. Now this one right here, you got to watch this. We followed this rule back in chapter 5 here. Now you've got a fraction, and it's raised to a negative exponent, and I think that's the big difference you want to realize. You've got a fraction there. And so that's equivalent to the reciprocal inside the parentheses, which is 2/8 raised to a positive 2/3. Go back and reference that if that's a little rusty there to you. Okay. Now that you've done that, you now can take, now that you've got 27/8, you now take your conversion, and you take 27/8 taken to the index of 3, which is the cube root, and so cube root of 27 is 3, cube root of 8 is 2, and then finally squared on the outside exponent, and you've got 9/4. 3 squared, 2 squared, you got 9/4. Okay, so you're doing okay here. You're looking at these here. Shortcut D gives you an option that if you want to a base raised to an exponent that's a fraction can be separated out, where you could take the numerator can be taken inside and the denominator can go outside. Okay, and that's because m times 1 over n does equal mn, so they're just taking advantage of that. Remember, inside outside exponents, you multiply them. Okay, so this is optional. You might like it, you might not. You can try it every once in a while. So here's an example of you got the cube root of 27 squared. Okay, there's a couple ways to look at it. Here, this version now here, the new rule D, they're now going to take it and write it as an exponent. So you're taking your right-handed L, flipping it up, making an exponent, and then realizing you could have 27 squared. So that's a 2 right there. 27 squared, 1/3, so 27 squared, 729. Take the cube root of it, happens to be 9. Or you could use rule B, which is take 27, raise it to the 1/3, which means take the cube root of 27, which is 3, and then square it, and you still get 9. Okay, so you could see those both work that way. Rule E. Here, we use this one a good bit here. So you've got your choice of when you've got a base raised to an exponent, you can rotate it, put the denominator in the x outside in the index number, and drop the denominator down underneath. So you went from here to here, or you could keep it on the outside. You got your choice. Pick either way. Rule B or Rule D. I'm just trying to highlight those again for you. And you can follow these examples here that you will get the same answers here. This one I took it, rotated, took the cube root on the outside, 8 squared, 64, cube root of 64 is 4. Over here took the cube root of 8, got 2, 2 squared is 4, and you got the same thing. Okay. So you could use those here, convert between radicals and exponents. Rule B here, to go from an exponent to a radical. 13 raised to the 1/2, that's the square root of 13. I'll just do a couple of these here. 9 times 5, m to the 5/8, the 9 stays out. So now this one, m, I took the denominator becomes the index, and I put the parentheses, and the numerator becomes the outside exponent. Okay. And I just shown these. I didn't work them all. Some of them I worked out here. Square root of 10 is the same as 10 to the 1/2 power. If you're not sure about that, don't forget 10 raised to the first If you do not see an index number for the radical, it's always assumed to be 2, and that's where they rotated it up and got the 1/2. That's a 1/2 error. Okay, and so you can look over here, and a lot of times, I don't know, if I could take, a lot of times what I do, I'll take 3 and take it to the 8th power, and then take it to the 4th root. And sometimes that's a little hard, but this way, they took this to 8 over 4. Guess what? 8 over 4 is 2, so 3 squared is 9. So the shortcut here again is every time you see radical and an exponent, there's the base. Rotate up clockwise. The exponent goes up in the numerator. The index number goes down in the denominator, and that's how I got 8/4 there. Okay, Mr. McHugh, we're going to sign off here on page 2. We've got one more to do for section 8.2, so I'll see you for page 3, and we'll finish this section up. Okay, take care. Bye.